And so today I am excited to showcase the newest 8th anniversary character, yet another Ichigo, but I don't care. It's true Shikai Ichigo based off the Blade Is Me episode of the 1000 Year Blood War anime. Look at this character standing in the middle of my screen. He looks so cool. Amazing model. The blade itself looks really cool, especially if we compare it to his old model that came out around 5 or so years ago. You can definitely tell Keva upped their game when it comes to character modeling, and this character looks absolutely stunning. With that said though, let's have a look at this year's anniversary character. Ichigo in this case is a power Soripa with the Hollow and also no affiliation killer set. Really good killer combination. I would have preferred something else other than Hollow, not because Hollow kill is bad, it's just because we already have Yamamoto to cover this particular killer set. But that's fine, this Ichigo's better, so it's not really that big of a deal. One thing to keep in mind though is that Ichigo himself is a 14% recharge soul trait, so his strong attacks do come back a tad bit faster. He is capable of getting a really high recharge if you do use 3 other 14% recharge soul traits. When it comes to the character skills though, the best way to look at this character is damage consistency. When it comes to his damage output, he is the first character in the game to have Frenzy plus 3. That right there is absolutely amazing, especially because he does have an additional 20% more damage at full stamina. To go alongside that, he does have the best status elements in the game, that being Weakening and also Drain. When you apply Weakening, not only does it mean the enemies are doing 1 damage to you, it means you also do 50% more damage, and you also get to heal back up to full stamina thanks to the Drain healing capabilities. But what makes that even better, which remember, his strong attacks are hitting 4 times thanks to the Frenzy plus 3. He has the most hits in the game when it comes to his strong attacks. It gets even better because he also does have an increased chance to inflict a status ailment. What this essentially means is that you are almost guaranteed to inflict status ailments every time you hit an enemy. It's absolutely crazy. With this skill set, you're constantly inflicting status ailments, allowing yourself to do more damage, take less damage, but also easily get back up to full stamina, where you are able to take full advantage of that full stamina damage boost. His Sobum can also hit hard thanks to his 60% devastation. He has poise, so he's never getting caught off guard. He's never taking any stagger effects. Really good for auto-win content, for example. He can read all affiliation dodges. He has the 5-second debilitator, the 20% havoc. He has the complete stat immunity, which you can share to your entire team. And I do want to emphasize how good that really is, because traditionally we don't see a character get all stat immunity with Weakening and also Drain. This character has the best survivability in the game, constantly healing himself while also never having to worry about where he should stand because he's immune to every status ailment. To wrap that up, he does have Sharpshooter, hit hidden enemies, and also a new skill, Poise Break, where you ignore poise enemies. We won't be able to really demonstrate that in this video. Unfortunately, it does not work in co-op mobs, and you very rarely ever go against any enemies with poise, but if you ever take the character into Limit Breaker quests, that's where this skill is more so going to shine. I think it's a kind of whatever skill. I don't think it's a must-have for new characters. I guess it's nice to have, but I don't think the character would have been any less worse without the skill, for example. But with that said, that's Ichigo. Let's jump into content and see how he does perform. Alright then, so let's jump into some single player IT. First, to check out how he does perform. I do want to specify right from the get-go though, is that my controller is actually kind of broken, so if you see me use a strong attack in the wrong direction, or if I start walking left when I'm originally walking right, that is essentially the reason why. So I will say, just from the initial playthrough that I have done with this particular character, one of the big complaints is his particular SA1. And I will admit, the SA1 when it comes to single player content is definitely less ideal when compared to a beam, for example. But generally when you take him into some of the harder content like co-op, for example, this SA1 is actually good in my opinion. I don't prefer it. I don't want to say I prefer it, but it's not bad. It's generally not bad. But what you're going to see in these particular runs is that we're just constantly inflicting status ailments, man. That's the great thing about him. We've never seen a character like this that has Frenzy plus 3 with, a lot of attacks, SA1 and 2 namely, that do hit quite a few times and have an increased chance to inflict status ailments. It's absolutely crazy. One thing you're guaranteed with this character is consistent damage output, but most importantly, consistent heals and also weakening. You can see there we're basically one-shotting these enemies. It's absolutely crazy. And what I also do like about him too, and you're going to see that more so demonstrated in co-op content, is that he's also the first character alongside White, for example, to actually be immune to every status ailment while having a ridiculous amount of healing. In that case though, for our first clear time, 1 minute and 4 seconds, that's good. That's very good. Let's see if we can actually try and get a faster clear time this time though. Although again, see again, my controller is just going to keep going back and forth. It's annoying. Let's use that SA3 there, wipe them out. That SA3, it doesn't come out super fast. It's not slow though. It generally just feels like a normal SA3, but it feels powerful when it does come out. It feels good when you just clear a bunch of waves with that particular SA3. Let's go there, use the SA2, group them enemies up, Then we get to do Doom. Look at that. Powerful SA3. SA1's even clearing up. Of course, in that particular example, though, a beam SA1 melee collision attack would have been more ideal. It would have actually wiped out that range. So I'm not going to try and gaslight you lads and say this SA1 is perfect. It's not, but it really doesn't ruin the character. Generally, it's not that big of a deal. SA3 goes down, they go down, and once more, we're already into the final stage, where I guess we just get to use the Soul Bomb. Amazing Soul Bomb. Absolutely love it. And that end pose is actually really cool. One of my favorites in the entire game. It definitely shows how cool his model actually is. One of my favorites already. In that case, though, a much faster clear time and respectable clear time, a 48-second run in just single-player IT. But that's single-player content. Single-player content's easier. Let's take him into the more challenging content like co-op IT, for example. But single-player IT is too easy for this character, so let's take him in some of the harder content, that of course being Inheritance Trials, but lucky for us, he actually does have Killer here. So what you're going to notice throughout this entire gameplay, especially when we're doing more hits on these particular enemies, is constant heals, great crowd control. Like, this pushback SA1 really isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. But we're also constantly applying weakening too, right? Remember, this Frenzy +3 with an increased chance to inflict stat ailment is absolutely insane. As you can see here, like, we're 1 out of 5, right? Only level 10 SP, and we're going through this quest super easily. And due to the nature of the character's skills, always having that increased chance to inflict stat ailment, right? He really doesn't care about Killer, and this just feels really smooth. One thing I do want to mention, and you're going to definitely notice it in cup type of content, which is really special that I don't think many people are actually talking about, is the fact that his survivability is insane. Remember, when it came to characters with weakening and also drain, look at the bosses go down with just like 2 attacks. Absolutely mad. We got hit, but that's fine. We can just use 1 strong attack and we're back up to full stamina. When it came to characters with, you know, weakening and drain, very powerful combination since it does allow to stay at full stamina. Most of the time, basically all the time, you never got any of full stats immunity. So the fact that we get to stand wherever we want to, constantly inflict stat ailments, which allows us to do more damage and also get back up to full stamina, is great. Look how easy we're going through this particular quest. Let's grab these. Like, generally, when actually playing with this character, unless you're playing single player content, you rarely ever notice that particular range collision SA1, right? We took a bit of hits there. Doesn't matter. We can just, you know, use 1 strong attack. We're back up to full stamina. Look at this. This is great. This is great. Oh my god, super easy. That's what you're guaranteed with this character, right? You're guaranteed consistency. His damage output's great. Yes, the RNG factor is there, whether he inflicts a stat ailment or not, but with Frenzy +3 and the increased chance to do so, almost every attack you're doing is inflicting a stat ailment. For our very first run, 1 out of 5, where we don't have Pierce Iron Skin, we're able to go through this particular quest in just 1 minute and 52 second play time. We weren't even trying to go for a fast play time, but I'm sure we actually can. So let's try that again. This time I've given the character long strides, so maybe we can actually go through this particular quest even faster. Let's see how it does go. Once more, I mentioned it already, my controller's broken, so sometimes I'm going left and right when I don't mean to. Definitely gonna have to get that fixed sometime in the future. Let's use our SA2 there. Again, I can't stress enough how nice it is just being able to stand where you want to, not worry about stat ailments, and not worry if you do get hit, because if you do, all we have to do is just use 1 extra strong attack. Back up, let's use our SA2. It's going to just group them all in, and you can actually combo his SA2 into his SA1 quite well, in my opinion. And then SA3 didn't actually clear up there, funny enough. That enemy surprisingly did not get inflicted by his stat ailment, but it's fine, because 1 strong attack after that is enough to take him out. Let's back up. Again, this is why I like giving characters long stride, just to have that extra bit of safety. Although in his case, you know, it really doesn't matter all too much, right? Okay, let's use our SA3. Look at that, almost absolutely one-shotting the bosses there. You'd love to see it. They had no time to attack us, instantly getting weakened. And his nat string is also really good too. Wow, I absolutely love this character's nat string. Let's use the character's SA2 there, back up, use the SA1, and then SA3. Unfortunately, didn't go into the final boss, but it's fine, because then we get to use our SA2 here. Yeah, look at that, instant proc. Instant proc. You do not have to worry about any boss. As long as you use a strong attack that goes into them, they're instantly getting weakened. Instantly getting weakened. It's absolutely crazy. All right, so in this case, let's go in. Again, fortunately, my controller's broken. We wasted a strong attack 1 there. But the SA2 does guarantee us the proc. Again, kind of missing my SA1. It's unfortunate, man. The controller's setting us back here. But even with that handicap of my controller being broken, Ichigo just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. There we go. Another super easy run. Might not be as fast, of course, as those characters that have, you know, Ignore Iron Skin, for example. But you're guaranteed safety here. Even those characters like Thousand Year Blood with Ichigo, like Rangiku, and also Tensum, while they can clear faster, they also are very easily one-shottable. And when you take a hit, you lose out a lot on that full stamina damage, right? But still, a sub sub 2-minute clear time with the handicap of my controller, you know, playing against us here. It's still really, really impressive. Last but not least, though, let's take him into the Awakened Acid Wire Epic Raid and see how fast it takes him to do 23 million damage. So far, so good. Instantly going into the second phase. You love to see it. We're going to use our Soul Bomb here. We're going to let it play out because I love this Soul Bomb. It's such a cool, one of the better Soul Bombs, in my opinion. There we go. We apply the weakened defense, and we did give it to him as bonus abilities. The SA2, going to go a good amount of damage there. SA1 should hopefully clear up the second phase. There we go. And now we just wait for our strong attacks to come back, right? SA1, I will be honest, since it is a pushback attack, is not really the greatest when it comes to, you know, epic raid type of content, right? Ideally, you do want to push back the enemies. But in this case, the SA1 should finish up. And in that case, it took us around, what, 37 seconds? Keep in mind, we are a bonus character, so we are getting 2 times damage. 1 out of 5 to do around 23 million damage. That, of course, is actually really impressive. Keep in mind, as already mentioned, his damage output isn't the highest in the game. He's not going to be the hardest of the character when it comes to strong attack damage, but what he does guarantee is consistency, and I think we demonstrated that in this entire showcase, right? But yeah, a 36-second clear time, 23 million damage, super easy to do with this particular character. But with that said, lads, that was the video for today, showcasing the brand new 8th anniversary 1000-year Blood War Ichigo, this time though in the premium pool. That's what makes this character special, but even besides that, he's just a really fun to play Ichigo. Really cool design, love the model, visuals are great, and the character is overall just very solid, especially given the fact that he is a power character. I've been preaching for the last 2 months almost that the attributes for Anniversary have to be Mind and Power because they are by far the most lackluster attributes. And this addition to the attribute is actually really good because he himself is a really good character, and now for the most part we finally have a new character to use other than 1000-year Blood War Yamamoto. It is a tad bit unfortunate they still both shared the same Holo Killer, but regardless, he's a fun character. He's going to go through any content super fast and also just really save with his immunities, his heals, and also his weakening procs. I think for the time being, he is definitely going to be my go-to power character because, yeah, he basically just makes everything an absolute cakewalk. Regardless of how good or bad the character was, I am loving true Shikai Ichigo, so I'm definitely going to use him, and as of right now, I'm having a lot of fun using this particular character. In the comments below, though, let me know what you like think about the Anniversary character. I'm curious to know, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.